Today, as we said last week, we will talk about evil, who created it. It's a fascinating topic. So when man observes nature, he sees much pain, sorrow, and death. He sees and he experiences natural disasters and catastrophes that kill people and animals alike with no mercy. He feels the earth shaking under his feet, causing much destruction and death. He sees tsunamis washing people away into the sea, volcanoes erupting and burying towns under ashes. He sees diseases and pandemics that decimate whole populations, diseases caused by viruses, bacteria, and by parasites that take advantages of the host. And he asks, who created all that evil out there? Watching the cosmos, man sees in it exploding novas and black holes that swallow entire solar system every minute. And he asks, why is the universe built like this? Isn't it controlled by a bad God or Satan? And when man gets sick, very sick, he asks, who is after me? Why do I deserve so much suffering? Where is God? Why doesn't the good God protect me? And when man looks at his fellow men, at people who commit heinous crimes and atrocities, men who is cruel and indifferent to other people's life, and he asks, who made mankind so evil? Aren't we controlled by Satan? So the book of Job, as you know, is dedicated to that very old question. Job's friends, however, tell him that he must have sinned to deserve his fate. They also tell him that God must have a good plan for him, making him stronger with the agony, or that God has some other plan, good plan for him. But Job rightly rejects all those explanations. They might appease his friend's mind, but not his own mind. Their words do not comfort him, the suffering person. To Job, nothing in the world can explain his misery. Then God appears to Job and tells him the bitter truth, that mankind can never understand God. Rabbi Soloveitchik, bless his memory, takes this as halachic guidance. We should never tell the suffering person, he says, that his misery is caused by some kind of heavenly plan, or as a test for his character, to enforce his character. We should never engage a suffering person with some kind of theology, trying to defend God. Instead, the rabbi says, we should try hard to elevate his spirit, to convert him from a victim to a proactive person whose goal is to alleviate the agony from other people and eradicate evil from the face of the earth. So what then is evil? What does Moses say about it in Genesis chapter 1? Who created evil? When? And why? Let's note for a minute that our discussion today is a prelude, necessary prelude, to the following story of Eden, Garden of Eden, in chapter 2 to 5. We can't understand the Garden of Eden without knowing what good and evil are. So let's continue the story of the creation of Adam. So far, we have learned that Elohim consulted every entity in chapter 1 and used it to make Adam layer by layer. As the rabbi said, Elohim looked at the Torah and made the world, including man. Thus, Elohim consulted the 6 days and made Adam's body. Elohim consulted his wisdom and science and made Adam's mind. He consulted the spirit of art and made Adam's artistic heart. He consulted his own self and made Adam's self. Moreover, we said last week, Elohim blessed Adam with 2 powerful drives. The drive to be fruitful and multiply, namely the sex drive, and the drive to rule over, to wield power. Those 2 powerful drives would assure that Adam would not sit idle, but rather aspire to achieve goals and to thrive in our habitat, the earth. All those consultations gave Adam precious gifts, but also opened up the door for idolatry. Since Elohim spoke in plural voice while creating Adam, Adam would be tempted to worship those gifts, worship himself instead of God. Now, having exhausted almost all the entities mentioned in chapter 1, Elohim made his last consultation. Wishing to plant in Adam even a stronger drive, wishing to ensure that Adam would arrive at the end of the day, 6th day, our day, Elohim consulted the end of the 6th day, where it says, and Elohim saw everything that he has done, and behold, it was very good, tov me'od. And it was evening, it was morning, the day, 6th day was over. Let me show the slide so you can see where it says. Maybe at the end of the class, I'll try to upload the slide. It shows that at the end of the 6th day, there is a Sabbath, and YHVH enter the 6th day, and then it says, Tov me'od, very good. Elohim, and behold, it was very good. And so here, at the end of, so let's go again. So Elohim, having exhausted, I said, almost the entire entities mentioned in chapter 1, now it's fine. Elohim made his last consultation, wishing to plant in Adam even a stronger drive, wishing to ensure that Adam would arrive at the end of the day, arrive at the end of the day to Israel. So Elohim then consulted the end of the day, where it says, and Elohim saw everything that he had done, and behold, it was very good, tov me'od in Hebrew, and it was evening, it was morning, the 6th day is over. Here the verse says that at the end of the 6th day, Elohim would judge Adam with the entire 6 days to see whether Adam has become very good or very bad in Elohim's eyes. If Adam is deemed very, very good, Elohim would allow him and the creation to enter this next day, the Sabbath. But if Adam is deemed very bad, Elohim would terminate him with the entire universe and return everything to nothingness, as he has done to numerous other universes before. Elohim then consulted the very good option mentioned in the verse and planted in Adam the desire or the drive to do very good things. This would prompt Adam to walk in the right direction, to be very good in Elohim's eyes. But to balance Adam's drive, to make his trial fair, Elohim also planted in Adam to do the opposite, to do very bad things. Adam, therefore, having a blessed by a free will, would have to choose between those two powerful drives, a drive to do very good things and a drive to do very bad things. Now you may ask, where in the text does the verse mention the option of very bad? It says only very good. The Talmud says it lies in the Hebrew word for very good, tov me'od, because it can easily read as tov mavet, meaning good or death. Thus Elohim consulted good and he consulted mavet, death. And he made Adam drives accordingly. Let's note that the Hebrew word term drive, yetzer, refer to a desire, to lust, to be attracted and fascinated by the magic of good or the magic of evil. Now, to be very bad in Elohim's eyes, Adam has to violate Elohim's commandment. Whereas to be, no, let me see. Thus, Adam is attracted now, on one hand, to be very good in Elohim's eyes, to create, to build, to do justice, to comply with Elohim's commandment. But on the other hand, Adam is attracted to do the opposite, to be very bad in Elohim's eyes, to destroy, to do injustice, to violate all Elohim commandment. Now let's pay attention to the vocabulary here. If Adam deems very good, he is called righteous in Elohim eyes, tzaddik in Hebrew. Whereas if he becomes very bad in Elohim eyes, if violate the commandment, is sinner. But as we know, Adam is judged not only by Elohim, but also by the attribute of mercy, YHVH. You can see that in a text that I wanted to show you. At the end of the sixth day, Adam is judged by Elohim from one side, from the 6 days, and by YHVH from the other side, from the Sabbath. Both attributes judging Adam whether or not he has become very good or very bad. But there is a difference. To be very good in Elohim eyes, Adam needs to comply by his laws. Whereas to be very good in Hashem eyes, in YHVH eyes, Adam would have to show mercy, compassion, and forgiveness. To be very bad in Elohim eyes, Adam has to violate Elohim commandment. Whereas to be very bad in Hashem eyes, Adam would have to show that he is cruel, merciless, lacking compassion and forgiveness. So each of the attributes has its own yardstick to measure Adam. Elohim would measure Adam by the commandment, by abiding by the law. YHVH from the other side, from the Sabbath, will judge Adam by her feature, if he's cruel, merciless, incompassion, or unforgiving. When Adam is deemed very bad in Elohim eyes, in Hashem eyes, let's pay attention to the vocabulary. When Adam is deemed very bad in Elohim eyes, he is referred to as evil in Hashem eyes. And here we have arrived at the term evil in the eyes of the Torah. It is always associated with Hashem assessment in Hashem eyes, never with Elohim eyes. Because the term evil is an emotional reaction to those who act against Hashem's values, the merciful UHVH values. The term evil expresses disgust, repulsiveness, and rejection, referring to a person's character, declaring that he is evil. In contrast, the term righteous or sinner in Elohim eyes refer to the balance of person's merit and sins on the Elohim scale, rather than to the person's character. Let's note now that throughout the entire Torah and the entire Bible, the term evil is always associated with Hashem's UHVH assessment. For instance, when the king of Israel are described as evil, it is always says evil in Hashem's eyes, indicating that the king has violated idolatry, he worshipped idols like the Canaanites, and also took advantage of the poor, and the orphan, and the widows, and the prophet's scream. Now let's ask, does evil prevail in nature? Since nature is so full of agony and sorrow, is nature controlled by evil? That's our first question that we started with. The answer depends on whom you ask. Suppose for a moment you ask this question to a smart spider or a smart serpent that can talk, like the serpent in Eden. You ask it, is the world so full of agony and sorrow controlled by evil? The smart spider would not even understand your question. For being made by Elohim alone, the spider will have no knowledge of the merciful YHVH and will not have a clue that the universe could have been created differently with no sorrow and no pain in it. To the spider mind, agony and pains are manifestation of Elohim justice, where animals eat and are eaten, inflict pain and suffer pain. To the spider mind and to the serpent mind, the world seems perfect as it is, with no evil in it. Now imagine that a beautiful cherub, an angel of mercy, wanders into our universe. And you ask that angel, is there evil in the world? The angel would answer carefully with weighty words. He would say, I know that this world of yours could have been created differently, with no pain and no agony and no death in it. After all, I'm coming from such a world, from the eternal Sabbath, where Yud-Vav-Kei reign and Elohim abstain from any ruling. But I also know that the angel will say that the Elohim universe is run by absolute justice. And justice is never evil in Hashem's eyes. The animals that you see are not evil, the angel will say, since they abide by Elohim orders. They comply with the natural laws and they have no discretion and no free will. But Adam, in contrast, the angel will say, is the only creature here in your world that may be deemed evil in Hashem's eyes. So man is the only creature that are aware of YHVH and their expectation from us, and can exercise free will to choose between good and evil. No, the angel will say, the world is definitely not controlled by Satan, nor by any independent force of evil. Since the only evil in this world can be done by man who is aware of merciful YHVH and yet choose to do the opposite of her wishes. So how did Elohim plant in Adam the ability to do evil, to do all these evil things? So we go back to Adam creation. When Elohim consulted the 6 days and made Adam, he incorporated all the ability of the creature to cause pain and agonies, he incorporated into Adam's body and mind. Thus, you can say that when Elohim consulted the 6th day, because Elohim consulted it this day, Adam can now blow up things like the exploding novas on the first day. Adam can wash away and drown people by water made by on the 2nd day. Adam can poison his enemies like vegetation on the 3rd day. Adam can burn and set up fire like the sun on the 4th day. Adam can swallow like fish, drive and catch his enemy and prey like birds, tear flesh apart like crocodile, all of them made on the 5th day. Adam can prey like beast and bite like snakes made on the 6th day. So while the animals who can do all these things are considered good in Elohim's eyes, when Adam does all these things to his fellow man, is evil in Hashem's eyes. Hence, Adam is the only creature in this universe that carries both the spider and the angel in his heart. And there is a struggle there between. There's a fight. Adam is witnessing the struggle in his heart, the agony, or the clash between the spider and the angel in his heart. You can see the universe from the eyes of the angel, and he can act like the spider. So Adam, when he, with his free will, he can now choose to behave like the spider and be evil in Hashem's eyes, or he can act like an angel and become Hashem's beloved one, as Abraham, Moses, and David did. Adam can behave like an animal. He can declare that war is good, that only the strong prevail, like in the jungle, and that God is dead, as Nietzsche said, that the Bible is a poison made by the weak to harm the strong and the healthy race. Adam, acting like a spider, can raise an army wearing fancy uniform with a skull emblem placed on his fancy hat and murder millions of innocent people in a calculated, vicious, cool, scientific way like the Nazis did, thereby not only worshiping Satan, but becoming a real Satan on real earth. But Adam can opt to do the opposite. He can let the angel of Hashem enter his heart. He can walk like Noah in Elohim ways and be compassionate and kind and beloved as by Hashem's eyes. And since evil is just a perception of man from the perspective of Hashem, evil is a perception of man from the perspective of Hashem's eyes in his heart. The more we accept Hashem in our heart, the more we would become sensitive to evildoers. But if evil of mankind would grow big, when men become very bad in evil eye, in Hashem's eyes, our illness may block the road progress to the Sabbath, leaving us in the hand of Elohim to execute his harsh verdict. Here, the slide that I wanted to show you, so the verdict very good, very bad, very good, just in front of the Sabbath. So if this become very big, actually block the progress of our universe to the next day. It severs our connection to Hashem. and to the Sabbath. In fact, the Torah says in the book of Exodus that the evil of man can grow so much that he would sever the holy name itself, YHVH itself, to two parts, to YH and VH, as if cutting into two, like the Amalekites did at the time of the Exodus. Moses and Joshua, as you remember, fought and won over Amalek. But the Torah says there that this battle is not over yet, and that Hashem would fight for many generations to make his name complete again. But as King David says in the Psalm song for the Sabbath, that although the evildoers may flourish like grass, they would also burn like dry straw, so that righteous person would bloom like a palm tree sitting in God's courtyard. The rabbi asked, who is this righteous person that David referred to? And they answer, this righteous man is Noah. So here, I think that's what I wanted to tell you today. If you have any question, you can state it for me. In short, I wanted to show you here that if I summarize what I did, first we talk about the drives, Yetzer Hara and Yetzer Tov. The good drive, the drive to do good and the drive to do bad. These are the drives that actually paint everything we do. The same action can be good or can be evil, depend on your intention and about what you're doing. For instance, I can use science. I can use science for good. I can use science for evil. It depends on my intention, what I will do for it. I can paint for the sake of art pornography, forgetting about moral, and I can paint to build a temple or create a beautiful vessel for the temple. That's a kind of a metaphor. So every action we do, it can be either good or bad, but there is a passion, we said. Drive means a passion to do either good or bad. There's a charm to do evil. There is a magic to do evil, to watch evil, to sit in the arena and watch people being eaten alive by lions, or watch movies on the screen, action. There is a passion, a drive to do bad things, and there is a same drive to do good things. And people have to know about it, to be aware of it, and to choose the right passion, and to be aware, don't want to poison your own soul. And then we said that Adam is destined to be the only creature on earth that has a spider and the angel in his heart. He can be fascinated by nature, behave like a spider, and it can be very fascinating. You can wear uniforms, and you can feel strong and conquer and look at the world like a super race that want to enslave other races. It's very fascinating and attractive, but it is a spider. It is evil in the eyes of Hashem. Why? Because you cannot claim that you don't know Hashem. Hashem is in the heart of every person. How do I know that Hashem is in the heart of every person? That's chapter 2, the Garden of Eden will tell us about it. No person on earth can claim that he is a spider and doesn't know anything from Hashem. That Hashem, the Bible is a poison, and that war is good. That he is an animal that wants to be strongly like in the jungle, that God is dead. no man can say that and be clean in the heavenly court eyes, and even to us, to human court, because every person has a sense of mercy, compassion in his heart, at least a little bit. Of course, should be enforced by training, by study Torah, by walking the right way, but minimum, every person has a sense. Therefore, if a person chooses to be a spider, he is guilty of choosing evil. All right, any question?